Hello and welcome to Magenta Fashion Pep Talk. So I remember some time ago I talked about sharing my experiences with us, my journey so far in fashion designing, and some of us said I should make a separate video for it. So here's the video. So today we shall be discussing sewing from home or renting a shop. Now the first thing I would want to discuss is renting a shop. So before we move over to sewing from home, in terms of renting a shop, I'm not against renting a shop, but I'm only trying to tell us beginners, those of us that don't have sponsors or support systems that aim to own a shop. Please and please, owning a shop should be the least thing in your priority. Okay, so there's something called scale of preference. So all you have to do is write out the things you want according to your wants. Okay, so just write them out, and then each time you reach any milestone, you just tick it and know that that one has come and gone. So in renting a shop, we all know that there is high or there is inflation. Okay, the cost of renting shops or even apartments has drastically increased. So most times, once you are done with your fashion training, the next thing coming to your mind is to go out and rent a shop. Maybe probably because you feel that once you have a shop, you will have customers, but it doesn't work that way. So a lot of times we'll make that mistake to go out without having a customer base. We go out without having without having the necessary knowledge that will carry us through when we move out from our comfort zone and rent a shop. Now, renting a shop is good, but it comes with disadvantages, especially now that inflation is very high. So you would imagine finishing a fashion training, and the next thing is for you to rent a shop. You don't have any support system. No one is sponsoring you. You've been able to save maybe like ₦1 million or more, and then the next thing is for you to go and rent a shop. By the time you rent a shop with that money, you won't even have any amount of money left for you to furnish that shop. And sometimes because you don't have a customer base, to get clients becomes an issue. I have seen some designers say that they rented a shop and they are not getting customers, or maybe they are not getting clients that pays them the value of what they offer, or probably that their location, they don't value the services he or she render to them. So please, the first thing you need to do when you are done with your fashion school is not to go out and start looking for a shop, especially when you don't have sponsors. Because if you have sponsors, it is a different thing entirely. But when you don't have sponsors, you might want to start small. You say, okay, let me rent a shop at the roadside. I am done. And before you know it, I'll start getting clients. It doesn't work that way. You might not be able to fund that shop as time goes on because you do not have customer base. Some of us do not even know our costing very well. So when you charge clients peanuts. And at the end of the day, you'll be walking like a horse and be eating like an ant. So renting a shop should only come, or even renting an apartment, because these days what most entrepreneurs does is to rent an apartment. So it could be 2 bedroom flats, 3 bedroom flats, or a whole duplex. Now I want to burst your bubble. Do you know that some persons take loans to rent an apartment or a duplex? Then most of us will see things on TikTok like this is the testament that God is good, and then you see a fully furnished duplex or apartment with fashion equipment, and you'll be pressured to go and start yours. Some of them are loans. They took loans to start that up. But if you are starting your fashion career, your fashion journey, I will not even advise you to take a loan, because business is 50-50. Chances are high that you will succeed, chances are high that you will fail. So taking a loan should be the least options for you. Now, when you go out to rent a shop and you don't have a customer base, the location is not favorable, you cannot fund it, because it's when you have customers that are paying you well, that is the only time you'll be able to renew your shop rent, you'll be able to buy more equipment, and you see your business thriving. But when you don't have all these things, you will end up packing up, and then you go back to the home Sometimes they will even change scale and tell you that there is no customers, that this fashion designing is not for me, and now you go back and start learning hairdressing or hairstyling or whatever. Please, if you're a beginner, do not be in a rush to rent a shop. I will advise you to start from the comfort of your home. These days, once you know that you offer value for the money your client pays you, you will definitely get clients. The disadvantages of having a shop is this: inflation is high, high cost of rent, there's high cost of living. Standard of living is very high now. So if you pay shop rent like ₦1,000,000 yearly, times are running fast. Before you know it, it's already 1 year. You need to renew your rent, and probably if not even saved up to half of that money, 50% of your rent, and the year is already up, you will need to renew it. Now you renew that rent, you will pay your task, you pay for electricity supply, you will also pay for water supply, because fashion designers, we need water now to iron, so you will need to pay for water supply too. And then you also pay for transportation to transport yourself to and through your office, your workspace, which is expenses. But when you are working from home, it is different. You single your expenses. So by the time you pay for all these things, within a year, whatever profit margin or whatever income inflow coming into your business, it goes back into paying rent and other expenses for your shop. So I do not encourage you to rent a shop. I forgot to mention that you also need generator in your shop, because I've seen designers using manual method of ironing. They are using gas or using stove, charcoal iron, things like that. If you're Nigeria, you understand what I'm saying. So, but generator makes your work easier, because you will need it for your industrial sewing machine. You need it to iron. You also fuel it. You and I know that the cost of fuel is expensive now. So these are also expenses you make in the shop, and by the time you go home to where you live, you also do the same expenses, especially when you have an urgent order, and maybe you have one sewing machine at home. You'll be like, oh, this job is urgent, and by the time you got home, there is no power supply. You will now rush to buy fuel, and then you fuel again, you start working. All those things are double expenses. We do not need them in this present economy. Okay, now let me say, if you're a spinster, that is a single lady, or a bachelor, you're an entrepreneur, you are not living under your parents' roof, you're living separately from them in a different location, and where you are staying, you are paying rent also. So that very place where you are living now, you are paying rent, you are recharging your light, you are also buying water, you're also fueling your generator in case you have urgent orders that needs to be done at home, or maybe you want to work at night, things like that. So by the time you do this at home, you also go back to your shop, you pay for rent at the shop, you pay for electricity supply, you pay for water supply, transportation to and fro, you pay for task. In fact, I've seen cases of where they will say, you are not in an association, because I know some locations, the designers have associations, and there are designated days that in a month that they do their meeting. So they'll be like, you close down your shop. Sometimes if you do not attend, they will seize maybe your generator, your sewing machine, anything, and then you have a fine to pay. So these are disadvantages that comes with owning a shop. But when you are in the comfort of your home, nobody's coming there to harass you or anything. So by the time you do these double expenses, how much are you earning in a year? So all your earnings is going back into expenses again, paying. You continue paying and paying. You'll be like, oh, I'm working, no, I don't know what is going on. I used to get clients too, but at the end of the year, I'm not able to save a reasonable amount of money. You cannot save, because your expenses is higher than your inflow. Okay, so you cannot, there's no way you'll be able to save. So if you're in this category of persons that I mentioned, and you know that having a shop is not favoring you, so I will advise that you pack up and go to your house and convert a section, or maybe a room, to a fashion studio, or to any studio, depending on what you are doing, the kind of services you render. So just convert it, and then focus on aggressive marketing online. And trust me, you'll start seeing that you are able to save. Okay, all those expenses that you make in the shop, you start saving them because your expenses are singled, which is the one you make at home. I think with what I've said so far, I've been able to make a few points concerning renting a shop, especially for starters. Okay, so leave your feedback in the comment section. If there's any area I didn't cover, you can also drop it in the comment section so that we'll all learn from your own experiences too. So we'll discuss sewing from home, which is an aspect of fashion entrepreneurship that I love, because I also work from home and I think it's the best decision I've made so far. And let me tell us, if you're working from home, when the time is right for you to expand, when it is time for you to move out, you will know. When it is time for growth, you will definitely know. And this time is not about you're not going to rent a small shop space. No, you'll be going for apartments or maybe even a duplex, and you won't need to take loan to do all of those things, because all the while you've been working from home, you have been able to save because you singled your expenses. Okay, so now sit tight while we discuss working from home. I'll be discussing the advantages of working from home, of which one of them is it helps you to single your expenses. Now, this is for those living in a different location from their parents, okay, or from their guardian. So it helps you to single your expenses. So imagine in a case whereby where you are living, you're paying, let's say, a rent of 700,000 naira, and then in your shop you are paying 500,000 naira for shop rent, and then you move back home and decide to work from home. So that 500k that you pay every year, you'll be saving it. So it helps you to save. It helps you to single your expenses. The electricity you'll be paying in the shop, the water supply, cost of transportations, you'll be saving all those money because you are working from home. Now you can live. The sweetest part is when you are living with your parents or with your spouse. In this case, you are not paying for any rent, you're not paying for water supply, electricity supply, and the rest of them. So every income that comes into your business, you are saving it. And while you are saving it, you need to keep investing in the business also. Look out for equipment that you need that will make your work easier, and then you start getting them. Even if you don't have any use for them at the moment, you can buy them and keep for a long-term use. Okay, because things are getting expensive by the day. So if you're a fashion designer, for instance, you can imagine the cost of sewing machine maybe 2 years ago. It's not the same price now. So imagine you bought 2 years ago and kept it. You check the value now, you see that the rate has actually gone up way more higher. Okay, so it helps you to save. Then another thing with working from home is that it requires discipline. If you're not disciplined, you may not be able to work from home, because especially for fashion designers, it will be like, oh, I have time, and before you know it, the production time frame you told your client has come. Okay, and you'll be working under pressure. So you'll be like, okay, let me watch TV small, and the day is going. You'll be like, let me press phone small, the day is going. So if you're working from home, it requires discipline. You need to treat your office space in the home like an office. So you tell yourself that you wake up by 6 a.m., 7 a.m., you do the necessary chores, and then that you resume your work by 9 a.m. And that 9 a.m. you resume. It is discipline. And okay, you go for lunch break by, let's say, 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. It is discipline. And then you resume back from 1:30 p.m. to, let's say, 5 p.m. You close for the day. If you form it as a routine every day, there is no way your business won't thrive, because that is your office space. It is that office space that pays your bill. It is that office space that clothes you, fits you. Okay, so you need to treat it as one. So that requires a whole lot of discipline. And then again, you can work at any point in time. Okay, so you can say that there is no power supply during the day, but there will be a power supply at night. Then you just have your patterns ready, do all the necessary cuttings during the day, then and then you catch some sleep. In the night you resume your work, so you can work the whole of the night and then you sleep during the day. It totally depends on which one is more convenient for you. Okay, even while working at home, you can decide to get an extra hand. You can get one person, employ one person to be working for you, and the person will be coming to your home and be doing the job for you. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, because I'm working from home I cannot employ someone. No, you can employ someone. You can even employ two, you can employ three, depending on the space you have, the amount of space that you have, that will, and the number of persons it can accommodate with your equipment. Okay, you can even train from home. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to go out there before you start getting employees or training students. You can do all those things from the comfort of your home and be saving your money. Another thing with working from home is that it requires aggressive marketing. Okay, so you need to market your business online or even offline. So you can, if you're a fashion designer, you can always wear your designs to church, to events and all of that, but your best bet is online. Instagram is there, TikTok is there, Facebook is there, and some other apps are also there for you to market your business, because that is your easiest way or fastest way of building your client base. Okay, all your clients will be coming online. All right, and one thing I love with clients online is that they don't bargain. If you tag your product a certain amount or a certain price, that is what they will buy. But if you are building your customer base within your location, those within your vicinity, they will always price you down, because they don't value, or they don't, most of them, not that they don't know the value of what you offer, but they are not willing to pay that amount of money, simply because they feel like, oh, you are working from home now, or you are not your office space is not polished enough for them to pay such amount of money. But once you are working from home, what people see is what is on your page. What do you have there? Is it attractive? So they are willing to pay any amount you tell them, as long as they will get value for their money. So if you're working from home, you're not the same with somebody that owns a shop, because that person that owns a shop may not be marketing online, but he or she believes that people that drive past his or her shop, or passerbys, will see his or her products and they will walk into his or her store. But you that is working from home, you need to build your audience online. Your target audience are those online. You can also tell yourself that, okay, I want international clients, and then you start marketing towards those people, those that are abroad. So far with my experience working from home, I would say it doesn't have any disadvantage. The only thing you need is to discipline yourself, okay, and then make sure that you market your business online very, very well. Okay, so except maybe you want a walk-in client, then you can start aiming for a shop. But if you want to build your business online, all you want is online presence, online clients, then home is your best bet. This video is not limited to only fashion designers, because even hairstylists, photographers, makeup artists, they all single their expenses now. So all they do is just rent a flat, use the living room as their studio, and then the other room for their where they sleep, and maybe the rest for trainings. So please do not wait till you have it all before you start. That is the summary of this video. You can start with whatever you have, and from the comfort of your home. When it is time to move out, you will know. When it is time for expansion, you will know. Okay, so if this video has been helpful, give it a thumbs up. Leave your feedback in the comment section. If there is any topic you'd want me to discuss, you leave it in the comment section. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. I know I may not be able to touch every aspect of working from home, because I do not want this video to be too long. It's already long, so I don't want it to be too long, more than it should be. So maybe one of these days I would share my own personal experience working from home, how I built my own fashion brand working from home, and then my expansion experiences too. So thank you for stopping by on my channel. Don't forget to share this video Don't forget to like, don't forget to click on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. See you in my next pep talk. Bye.